It's 6 a.m. at the Dallas Police Heliport Department. Laurent is on duty, one of the 7 pilots of this elite unit in charge of keeping the Dallas skies safe.
His ratio is a bit more than a common person. Most people use a scoop. He just pours the can.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at
There's
the
nothing
amount.
in there.
Look at the amount. Look at that.
There's
My
nothing.
God. Look at that. That's like Turkish. That's like Turkish coffee.
No.
That's like.
If Laurent prefers his coffee strong, it's because he's French. He's been living in Dallas now for 20 years. Here, his colleagues have nicknamed him Frenchie.
He's just one of the guys here in our unit. He's just, aside from when he gets excited, occasionally we can't understand him. But aside from that, he's just one of our guys. We give him a hard time, but we wouldn't be the same without him.
10 for win wrap.
Laurent takes to the skies almost every day. His mission, to assist ground units.
There are incidents that officers are obliged to call us for, like burglaries, kidnappings, armed attacks. They're quite frequent.
20 years since his graduation, he's spent over 10,000 hours flying. After realizing his dream of joining the police force, he now knows the Dallas skies like no other. This morning, he's heading north of the city, for the skyscrapers of the business center, the affluent district.
It's a very, very rich neighborhood. I'd say North Dallas is super rich. Houses that are huge. Sometimes having bigger is just for the purposes of having bigger.
In this neighborhood, there are hundreds of homes worth millions of dollars.
This is Mark Cuban's home. He owns the Dallas Mavericks. It's a 1,200-meter squared house, 8 garages for the cars, a private tennis court, and an Olympic swimming pool.
While there are dream houses on this side of town, it's a completely different story a little further south.
Most of the calls are south of Dallas because that's the area where crime is higher. So we spend more time doing air patrols to be ready in case something happens.
On the streets of South Dallas, 1 in 5 residents lives below the poverty line. 136 murders took place last year, and drugs, especially crack cocaine, are taking their toll.
Dallas is a city of 2 extremes, one extreme of the very, very rich and one extreme of the very, very poor.
Dallas is also a cult series from the 1980s that made the city world famous. A harsh world personified by the hostile JR and his wife Sue Ellen. 30 years later and today, Dallas is booming and attracts 2,000 new residents every month. The city has no shortage of appeal, record growth and no income tax. A city that owes its wealth to oil and whose history traces back to Wild West epics. Even today, cowboy folklore is still very much alive. To discover Dallas and Texas, we'll follow one of the city's biggest wealth holders, the Caruths, billionaires with big hearts. When Minnie and Bill get ready for a charity event, a big check is never far away.
So tonight, I imagine he will mention that Hillcrest gave $50,000 yesterday.
Dallas is also the embodiment of this hairdresser's American dream. Tony's journey from the Parisian suburbs to the glitter of Dallas. The story of a child from Saint-Saint-Denis who has found his El Dorado. In his salon, a little Hollywood in Texas, Linda Gray, also known as Sue Ellen, is a customer.
When I arrived in 1978, the men were wearing cowboy hats and cowboy boots to go to their office. And it was a much different city. Now there's, the skyline has changed, they're building.
A city in the midst of a transformation. In Dallas, they call it the Texas Miracle. The economy has never been better. Americans from all over the world are moving here. Like Andrew, who moved here from the suburbs of New York.
This house is in the $600,000 range, right? But a house of this size back in Connecticut would cost you, probably $1 million.
A certain quality of life, but above all, a land of opportunities.
Dallas is actually a really great place to do business, great business environment, so that's why the economy is really taking off here.
However, not everyone benefits. Paul lives in Tent City, a huge shanty town where the poor of Dallas live.
This is crack cocaine.
A lawless area plagued by drug trafficking. Tent City, Paul's crash pad abandoned by life, the point of no return.
It was temporary. It's kind of a temporary permanent situation all of a sudden.
On the other side of town, Candy Evan, a specialist in billionaire homes, will show us a completely different world.
Wow.
A guided tour of the most expensive house in Dallas.
You've got plenty of room to go skateboarding here. Look at this.
Welcome to Dallas, Texas, the city of extremes. Highland Park District in the west of Dallas. The largest concentration of luxury shops in the United States, second only to New York's Fifth Avenue. The shopping district of choice for the wealthy in Dallas. In a trendy salon in the city, this customer has an appointment with the most fashionable hairdresser on the scene.
Hey Donna, how are you? Good to see you. How are you? Good. Everything good this morning?
Great, fantastic.
Bon, ready for this special day?
Tony is a 30-year-old French hairdresser. He's only been here for 4 years, but has already managed to attract upper-class clientele.
I try to remain very professional and discreet. With my experience of Dallas, I managed to understand the codes. It's a bit of a race to see who can get the most beautiful thing. Who can get the most beautiful car? A private jet. Who can get 2 private jets?
Everything is in excess, even the blowouts.
In Dallas, the style is very specific. Big hair, a lot of volume, no limit. It must be as high as possible. The lacquer is also important, and 10 times more is used than in Paris. You can see the volume.
Ready for the massage, Donna? That's your favorite, huh?
Tony had better look after his clients.
That feels good. Feels good?
Feels good.
Bon, let me kiss you.
For a haircut, tips can go up to €1,000.
Thank you, thank you.
What is that, Donna?
This is the tip for Tony for his good job.
That's how you do it here.
That's how we do it in Texas.
For Tony, seduction is an art.
Ciao, ciao.
Today is a special day.
Because you're my favorite one.
It's Valentine's Day.
You're so thoughtful and so sweet.
One more.
Oh, thank you, darling. Thank you.
Il n'y a que moi qui le fais. Préparer les cartes, il n'y a que moi qui le fais.
This is something only I do. Only I prepare these cards, and it's something to thank my clients. It makes me happy. They love it. And it's the little touches that make me the special Tony.
The French touch?
They love the French touch, of course.
The French touch works pretty well in Dallas. Tony's next client is a TV star.
C'est Sue Ellen. Sue Ellen du TV show Dallas.
It's Sue Ellen. Sue Ellen from the TV show Dallas. All families know her.
Toute la famille connaît.
In the Ewing family, Linda Gray plays Sue Ellen. In the United States, she's a huge star and is adored by all Texans.
It's a great pleasure, especially as she's so adorable. She's a great person. There she is, Linda.
Linda. Oh, yeah. So.
I love Tony.
Right.
Je suis adore. You think a little bit of French, but I have a hairdresser in Los Angeles who's French and who's very jealous of Tony because he knows I love Tony. Tony's creative. He's sexy. He knows how a woman likes to look and feel. And isn't that what we all want?
I love it. It makes me really happy. It's a declaration of love. It's really touching, really touching.
Since the first episodes out of the 350 of the Dallas series, Linda Gray has seen her city change.
When I arrived in 1978, the men were wearing cowboy hats and cowboy boots to go to their office, and it was a much different city. Now there's the skyline has changed. They're building big buildings all the time, new condominiums, new energy. They have a park, a freeway, wonderful restaurant.
Since the series, Dallas has not been the same. In actuality, the richest couple in Dallas is not Sue Ellen and JR. We go to meet real billionaires in the Texas backcountry, the Caruths.
Oh, you know what, Bill? Speaking of shooting, you know what I think? Is my machine gun down here?
I don't think they got in the car. Did you remember to put it in?
Bill and Minnie are direct descendants of the pioneers of the Wild West. The Caruths love to come to their ranch about 50 miles north of Dallas. Today, the prestigious Dallas SWAT are their guests.
That's all I cared about.
Well. The police's elite troops. Bill regularly organizes shooting competitions for them. In return, a private lesson. His teacher, a marksman. Nothing is too much for the billionaire, the biggest donor in town.
See a white ball, 282 yards.
Yeah. Police in general are the good guys. I mean, that's all. I think we ought to be good to the good guys. They do the most, they work the hardest, they've got the most specialized kind of a job.
Did you load my magazine, sweetheart? The little rock underneath the orange.
That's it.
All right, that's music to my ears. Yay, who wrote that? Yay!
A taste for firearms, cowboy hats and boots. Texan cliches are plenty here. In East Dallas, we meet up with Laurent, the French pilot. He's had the billionaires on board his helicopter multiple times. In exchange, the Caruths have invited him to their home. Accompanied by his wife Sunny, he's been invited again.
Tonight we're invited to meet the Caruth family, which is a family you can see on highway signs. Caruth is a big family in the city of Dallas. In fact, the highway we're driving on used to belong to the Caruths, which is a name that everyone knows. And they're very pro-police.
The Caruths are billionaire philanthropists. They've already given the city's police department millions of dollars.
We're arriving at the Caruths. You can't go in as you like. There is security. You have to tell them your name.
Here you go, sir. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Bye-bye. Thank you.
A guarded residence with maximum security. In Dallas, the rich live cut off from the rest of the city.
Come in too long since we've seen you. Richie just hired.
Bill, how are you, sir?
Well, don't you look handsome
Thank you.
in your tie? My goodness.
This is the 5th time Laurent has been invited to Bill and Minnie's.
back here, and Bill has just made a fresh pot of tea. And I don't know if Frenchie's
It seems the Caruths have a soft spot for the Frenchman.
So, Frenchie, you have coffee coming?
Look at baby. Look
And
at
hot tea.
Like the Eiffel Tower for us.
He's the kitchen person. I am not. You do not want me to cook or make anything for you in the kitchen.
The entire history of the Caruths and the origin of their fortune is based on their estate.
Antique map store in Hawaii and found these two maps from Bill for his birthday one year. They had the Caruth farm on it.
Really?
Bill, can you point out where the Caruth farm was? Well, one of the Caruth farms.
Right in there.
The Caruths may have trouble finding their way around, as historically the family owned almost all the land in North Dallas, over 100,000 acres. 150 years ago, Bill's great-grandfather was a visionary. He bought these huge areas for a pittance. A few years later, when the cotton business became the most important industry in the United States, he sold them back to the farmers, pocketing huge profits in the process. The Caruths became one of the wealthiest families in America. Today, Bill is retired with billions of dollars in his pocket.
Same basic gun, but a little difference. Napoleon.
With his fortune, he can afford all the toys he wants. His passion is antique weapons. Bill collects particularly those that have marked the history of Texas.
And these are pretty. These are pretty.
Interesting, because this is a Remington King, same guy. They only made, the U.S. government only bought 600 of these. They never issued them to the Army. They issued them to the Indian police.
If I ever need a gun, I know where to come.
No, but you wouldn't get one of these.
No?
No. Bill says he is the black hole of guns. It goes in, it never goes away.
This is his real treasure, one of the largest collections of antique weapons in the United States, worth hundreds of thousands of euros.
I can't remember when.
Avant de venir au Texas, je connaissais les armes courantes d'actuelles.
Before I came to Texas, I knew about modern weapons.
Comme tout gamin en France, je jouais toujours.
I always wanted to have a gun.
Je rêvais toujours d'avoir un revolver, un pistolet ou quelque chose.
It's impossible in France to have one, but here, it's like buying a baguette.
Comme acheter une baguette, hein, pour nous en France. Vous allez chez
It's incredible.
C'est incroyable.
Storyteller as far as telling stories, which is good. And not winning that around my mouth.
Minnie has her jewels, also a fortune, gold, rubies and diamonds. Tonight the couple are attending a social event.
That's what I'm thinking I'm going to wear, which are very rare yellow diamonds.
In her huge dressing room, Minnie finishes getting ready.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
The city's most wealthy are expected to attend.
There's never enough hours in the day, for some reason, to get everything done. I could go to some charity-connected event every week. It's wonderful to be able to have the opportunity to help. It's great. So now I've got to decide. Go home, so I can't wear that. It's too dressy.
For the Caruths, generosity knows no bounds.
So tonight, I imagine he will mention that Hillcrest gave $50,000 yesterday.
$50,000, a generous donation that they don't hesitate to hand out several times a month. Among the rich in Dallas, charity is a matter of reputation.
You don't need to, you're not expected to, but if you didn't, it would be noticed. Okay, I have to go get dressed. My husband is always precisely on time.
Bill and Minnie are generally known for being discreet about their money, but when they come to town, it's quite the opposite. This is their car they call the Beast, a unique model. The purpose of this evening is to raise funds for a holiday for diabetic children. These Dallas high flyers made the trip to a select jewelry store in the city center. Their goal is to raise $150,000 through a raffle, with the first prize being this $12,000 luxury watch.
Your swimming pool now.
Can I give you a hug? How are you?
So glad to be here.
Thank you.
The Caruths are the main donors of the evening. For the raffle, the minimum ticket price is $100. But since it's for a good cause, the prices mount quickly.
$1,750.
Like this woman, who just donated $1,750 for 2 tickets. With donations like these, the evening's goal will be reached very quickly, even exceeded. The organisers were hoping for $150,000, but got $100,000 more. An ordinary evening for the Caruths and the other wealthy donors of the city. Dallas, the economic powerhouse, has long ceased working with cattle, cotton and oil. The city now attracts high-tech sectors. Every month, 2,000 Americans give in to the city's calls and settle in Dallas. Like Andrew Savine, in his 40s, originally from the greater New York suburbs. He's a developer in new technologies. He arrived 2 months ago for business reasons, but it was the quality of life that really impressed him.
It just became a really tenuous thing for me because it seemed, somewhat inhumane to be spending 2 to 4 hours of each day in the car. And, you can certainly talk to quality of life and being able to spend time with my family and things like that. I'm actually, all of the above contributes to why just the commute alone is a reason to enjoy sort of the fruits of moving down here.
Andrew, like the majority of newcomers, chose to live in Frisco, a popular area of Dallas. Beautiful houses and affordable prices.
One of the major benefits of moving, down here was the housing opportunity. For example, this house is in the $600,000 range, right? But a house of this size back in Connecticut would cost you, probably $1 million.
Andrew lives here with his wife Meredith and their 2 children.
Hey, love.
Hi,
how you doing?
Good, how you doing?
How's the unpacking going?
Oh, it's going.
Can I help you?
Sure. You want to get change?
Yeah, let me go grab some clothes and I'll help you carry some stuff in. Anything else out here you want me to get?
Oh, no, that's okay.
Okay, all right, you got it.
Still in boxes, Meredith had to adapt to their new living space.
Let's put it down carefully. There you go. I think because the houses you can afford so much more house, the first thing we needed to do was get a lot more furniture because we had about half as much furniture in Connecticut than we need here.
So this is the entire footprint of the house. It's exactly a 1,623-foot. It definitely was tight. It was, fine when we had 1 child, but then with the second and now sort of growing, everything was just on a much smaller scale.
For the same price, a house twice as big. The Texas dream for Andrew.
Real benefit when this is all said and done is that we might strike oil underneath this land. So here's hoping.
Tonight at the Savines, a range of appetizers. They're welcoming their new neighbors, who've also just moved to Dallas. Originally from New York, Meredith would never have imagined living here.
I think when we first started thinking about moving to Texas, it seemed like a wild adventure. And we were really excited to take on something new like that. And when we were getting ready to move here, my friends back east would ask me, oh, you're going to buy cowboy boots? Are you going to develop an accent? Are you going to wear a hat? Can you put that in the ice bucket, hon?
Andrew didn't hesitate. Coming here was an obvious choice for his business.
Companies like FedEx, Pepsi, Toyota, American Airlines has their headquarters in Fort Worth. So there's so many companies all over the Metroplex. The interesting thing about this area is not only are those big companies here, but they create their own little microeconomies of other companies that support them for companies like mine, whatever it happens to be. So, the interesting thing is they're sort of moving in every day.
Guests come from all over America. They're all here to take advantage of the economic boom in Dallas, with jobs in banking, services, the environment, or new technologies. They all look at Dallas as the new El Dorado of the United States, like Greg, who came from Washington to work in a weapons startup.
But that's the great thing about Dallas. There's so many different types of jobs here, lots of different sectors. Dallas is actually a really great place to do business, great business environment. So that's why the economy is really taking off here.
Cheers, welcome to our home. Thanks for coming. Cheers.
Less than 4% unemployment, no income tax. Dallas is the up-and-coming city in the United States, a model for the entire country. The sun rises over the city. Just a few miles south of the wealthy Texas dreamers, under Interstate 45, tents as far as the eye can see. Welcome to Tent City, the hidden face of Dallas. A shanty town for the unfortunate, drug addicts, alcoholics, the unemployed. At 52, Paul is also homeless. His life was turned upside down 10 years ago when his son had a serious car accident. Paul became an alcoholic and lost everything: his wife, his job, and his flat. He's been living here for 5 years and tries to maintain some semblance of a normal life.
I keep it tidy.
It's important to you?
Very important. Just, no, I mean, I'm homeless. It doesn't mean I have to be, I don't have to be dirty or anything like that.
No water or electricity in Tent City. But for Paul, the worst thing is his lack of prospects.
It was temporary. It's kind of a temporary, permanent situation all of a sudden. A week will pass, a month will pass, and it's like next thing you know, it's like, oh my God, now we're going from winter, almost heading to, getting ready to spring, and then summer's gonna hit again, and it's like, it's just just waiting for something to break.
To help Paul and all the others, there are no generous billionaires, but instead churchgoers.
And you think that it's going to be of evil.
Ladies best. Thank you.
Well, somebody stole all 3 of my jackets the other night, so anything resembling something warm would be really great.
Volunteers from religious associations are there every weekend. Paul never misses a meeting.
Oh, good morning, Peggy. How you doing today? You knew I was ready for a ticket. Oh, good to see you. Good to see you. Doing okay today?
Yeah.
Good.
Yes, God is good.
All right. Yes.
Yes, He is.
He's He is.
Thanks to them, Paul can update his wardrobe.
3230? Okay. These'll do. That'll take care of laundry for a week. Now it's just t-shirts, and I'll give it a try. It should fit. Might be a little large, but heck, it should do. It was easy shopping today. Easy shopping.
Free shopping at the weekend. But on weekdays in Tent City, no one is there to help the men and women who live here. Like 50-year-old Stacy, a former executive who lost everything. She's lived in the camp for 6 years now, so she knows the rules.
It's segregated. White people choose to live around white people. That part of Tent City, can you show the camera there? A lot of Caucasians are over there.
Is it dangerous to live here?
Very dangerous.
Right.
Very dangerous. Because you're staying outside. You're staying outside and people are hungry for drugs. They do a lot of stealing.
No one would expect Stacy to end up in Tent City. She graduated from university and worked as a financial director in a large company. A nervous breakdown caused her to lose everything.
This is my location right here, sad to say. This is where I cohabitate at for right now. I really hate being here. It's dreadful. Look around. Who wants to live like this?
Here the main scourge is crack cocaine, Stacy's old demon. After a long addiction, she tries to stay clean, but with much difficulty. For some of her friends, it's taken over.
This is crack cocaine, a drug that you don't want to do. If I see my freaking face,
And a lot of people take drugs here?
yes,
And how do you feel after that?
like For me, it really don't do shit. I still feel everything.
In Tent City, 1 in 3 people use crack every day. After dark, Stacy makes her way to the main area where drugs are sold and used. There's a certain feeling of solidarity here.
Would you like something to eat? Would you open that bag for me? Please. There you go. Yeah. Here you go.
You see, you always share the food?
I'll do it. If I can, if they're around and I have it, sure. Why not? They share it with me.
In this part of the camp, Vince makes the rules.
My boys won. I've got 4 guys down here with me.
Vince manages everything, from drugs to food.
The store, I sell sodas, a hot cup of soup, you know, stuff like it, lighters, rolling papers. You know, I sell beer after midnight to people down here. I'm breaking all kinds of laws and don't care. I'm trying to survive, you know what I mean? The city don't care about us. We're living on state property, not supposed to be here. If I go over there and crack Brad in the head with an axe handle right now, the ambulance will come. They're not going to take him to the hospital. They're going to put a Band-Aid on him. The police ain't going to come, and they're going to send him back to his tent. And if he dies in the city, nobody cares.
Be blessed. Thank you.
Hey, you take care of yourself, all right?
Yeah.
Abandoned by the state. That evening, on the other side of the camp, another victim, a homeless man, was just murdered. The police show up. The victim was stabbed.
Oh, right there.
Paul is in shock. His tent is only a few meters from the scene of the crime.
We didn't hear a word. Not a scream, no nothing. Just, next we know, it's like, they pulled up, this guy's laid out. Everybody down here likes to manage their own business on their own terms. Kind of like the Wild West. They just want to, hey, we don't need police involved. Come on, you, me, we're gonna take this out.
This is the 5th murder in less than 2 years in Tent City. All over the city, crime is on the rise. In the Dallas skies, Laurent's nights are not always smooth sailing.
Where are we going?
Way out of Ferguson.
Echo 425, myself and Echo 431.
We protect these people. By flying over the city, we provide protection which is vital, especially for the police. When they are in pursuit, we have a much larger field of vision, so we can give them a head start.
Okay, come around slowly.
At night, the team uses a powerful searchlight to spot activity on the ground. Laurent was called in to help locate a suspect. Thanks to the helicopter, a patrol intercepts him. A little later in the night, another alert. The radio reports a wild party in the southern district.
The way they're talking, it's going to be a couple hundred people. Oh, really? Well, they've asked for a dozen officers. A dozen? A dozen. On voit ça.
Ground patrols are already in the area. The helicopter's presence alone finished off the job. The scene is quickly evacuated.
So it's just going to take a bunch of officers to clear them out. Yeah, you got a big fire straight ahead. Oh, look at that. Yeah, let's go look at that. Since we're up here.
Status eligible on that.
I don't see where they might be having a problem.
A rather quiet night for Laurent. The Frenchman is often called for much more spectacular missions, including car chases. Like on the 11th of February 2015, a fugitive was chased by the police and tracked from the sky. He's just committed a robbery. The chase ends when he crashes into two cars. The passengers he crashed into, a man and a woman, get out of their cars and hit the man, unaware that he's running from the police. The helicopter never took its cameras off him. Officers on the ground quickly intervene. The fugitive is now being held in the Dallas County Jail. The Dallas Police Department helicopters receive nearly 150 emergency calls a week. Uptown, the neighborhood where the French hairdresser lives. Thanks to his rich clients, Tony recently bought himself a car. With a personalized Tony 93 license plate. 93, the area north of Paris where he grew up.
To live and to work in Dallas is a path full of ambition. It is a big desire to succeed. I have been here for 3.5 years, and I always smile. I work 6 days a week, but I'm always happy.
This week, he's working every day. It's Sunday, and to satisfy the whims of an important client, Tony travels over 50 kilometers to meet her at her second home.
They look like small castles here.
The architecture in this neighborhood is inspired by old Europe. Tony arrives at his destination, a 1,000 square meter house. The lady of the house is Joan.
Hey, hey, hey! Bonjour, bonjour. How are you?
This is the Mickey's home. They made their fortune in steel on the East Coast.
Oh, yeah. Great. Beautiful drive.
And retired under the Dallas sun.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, no, that's good.
See the statue out front?
Yeah.
She came from France.
That's from France?
Everything I buy for this house.
Wow, that's big. Very impressive.
The ceiling height?
It's really chateau.
It is, all the way around.
French chateau. Travailler chez les gens, ça permet vraiment d'être...
Working in people's homes is a great way to be with a family and see where they live. We're in a great house with a grassy slope overlooking a lake. It's beautiful.
Un beau spectacle.
A beautiful sight. But today, the attraction is Tony. For the occasion, Joan has invited her whole family.
Tony, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Really nice to meet you.
I'm excited.
Oh yeah, me too.
Trim away.
Me more than everybody.
Her daughter Liz came with her children. 3 generations are here to put this trendy hairdresser to the test. Time for brunch.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's go, let's do it.
Okay, guys, go ahead.
Have fun.
The whole family will experience Tony's finest service.
For this Valentine.
Just nice and sexy.
Nice and sexy.
Bangs a little shorter.
Okay, let's do that.
A quick blow dry, without ever losing a smile from the customer.
Who's next? So you want the bang? Perfect.
Yeah.
You're gonna look more pretty than the picture.
Okay.
He doesn't forget about little Ella.
Oh my gosh, I love it!
Your hair are perfect.
Okay, let's do it.
Now it's Joan, the hostess's turn.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Mickey, what do you think of your Valentine?
Well, she's wonderful.
Bingo!
Time she's wonderful. You just made her better.
Kisses.
So what does your wife tell you when she comes back from?
Yeah.
She said it's very expensive.
Yes, but it's worth every penny. Every penny.
For his Sunday morning, Tony will pocket a nice tip. €3,000 for a few hours of work. In Dallas, the real estate market has never been in better shape. Luxury home sales are soaring. We head to a villa in an affluent neighborhood owned by Candy Evans, a real estate celebrity in the United States.
Hi, sweet baby. Hello.
Her passion is dream houses.
It is nice today. It's not yucky. Yes, we have houses to buy. Blog.
She runs a blog dedicated to high-end real estate.
Oh, that's not blog. That's a fire engine. Yeah, okay, let's put you back in your cage. You're just being silly. You're being silly.
Candy Evans knows these streets like the back of her hand. We're in Bluff View, the local Beverly Hills.
Oh, hi. I'm gonna have to. I hope you don't mind. I'm just borrowing your driveway to admire it. Is that okay? Thank you. Bye. Expose. Oh my God, I love her driveway. I love this stone. It's so pretty. I wish I would have done it. Oh, hear the crunch? Love that crunch.
These expensive houses reflect the rising potential of Dallas. After the golden age of oil, the city's economy has reinvented itself.
These are one of the top neighborhoods in Dallas, and this is just primo dirt, primo property. I would say that at one point you probably had a lot of oil people out here on these in these homes, but now the tide has turned, and these are more the hedge fund people, the money people, the capital investment people. You would find nothing under $1 million here, even these small homes.
Candy shows us the most expensive house in Dallas.
Wow.
It's worth $13 million.
You've got plenty of room to go skateboarding here. Look at this.
For $13 million, you get 9 bedrooms, some with fireplaces, 13 bathrooms, several living rooms, and even a piano that plays itself.
Just like in a movie theater, you can just kind of put your Coke or your beer.
An outdoor and indoor pool, a basketball court, a mini football field, and surprisingly for Candy,
This is the bowling alley. Not many people have bowling alleys in Dallas. Ah, the master bedroom supreme here. Look at this. Oh my God, this is a huge bed. Kind of comfy too.
the other house Candy is interested in today has a special history. The actress Linda Gray shot the last 3 seasons of the series Dallas here. This massive house of over 500 square meters has 25 rooms. Money is not lacking here. Barbara, the owner, opens the doors of her house worth $6 million.
Sprinkled the game room upstairs.
Upstairs game room. Mm-hmm.
And then this is the large office that looks out, has a perfect view out over the Galleria skyline and all the hills of Bluffview.
Of Bluffview. Beautiful. I love the way you've done the wood just behind the trestles. And isn't this the staircase that Harris Ryland pushed his mother down?
Harris Ryland pushed his mother, Judith Light.
Judith Light, the actress.
Tony Danza and Judith Light's Who's the Boss? Pushed her down this staircase. Yep.
Did you have a lot of photo shoots going on here for Dallas during the
2 years?
2 years. Wow. Was it enjoyable? Did you survive it?
I would do it again.
You would? That's fabulous.
Even for the wealthy families of Dallas, there's no such thing as a small profit. Renting out your home for the filming of a series can be very lucrative. Hollywood reportedly paid Barbara hundreds of thousands of dollars to use her home for filming.
Of the girls wanting to have like cocktail parties in their closet.
I just think you cut it off.
Just because it's fun. They just invite people. They say it's the only quiet place in the house where they can go where there's not a phone call. Thank you so much for letting us come. Thank you.
Well,
you are a very one of the most fascinating homeowners I've ever met. Thank you, and you've done a beautiful job on your home.
Very well.
Thank you so much. Okay, is this the door? This one?
That's the door.
Ah,
Thank you
it's
so
so
much.
beautiful. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye. She has to walk all the way down to her car down the end of the driveway.
Barbara's house will end up on Candy's blog. 450,000 people sign on every month. The reason why Candy is always welcome to new homes. Back home, Candy jumps on her keyboard to update her blog.
Do you recall that scene in the last Dallas series where Ryland Harris, no, not tossed, pushed lot in the area and hilly, treed, like having a whole country, your own country. It's like having your own country. People will want to read about this house because of the size and because of everything that's inside it, and of course because of the celebrity pull for it. So I will probably write the whole story out, and then I'll go back and I'll give it a kind of a real sexy headline, because that's what pulls in readers, as we know. Check our price, $9.95. It's a bargain.
Under Interstate 45 motorway, Tent City is in its last hours. Too many drugs, too much crime, the city council has decided to evacuate the slum. Like the others, Paul must pack up his things. Paul has received good news. 2 days ago, he was assigned a house. But until he gets the keys, he'll have to wait in a homeless shelter.
My goal, like I said, get my housing, then look for a real job, and go from there, start life again, you know?
Although Paul's future seems to be getting a little brighter, Dallas has not yet completely dealt with the poor. A few days after the evacuation of the shantytown, 100 homeless people moved back just 200 meters away. In the north of the city, Tony has a reunion. Childhood friends from Paris have come to visit him for a few days.
Come on, let's go.
So tonight he's going to show them Dallas. Far from the cliches, the dynamic city has turned towards the future.
Not many people come to see me in Dallas. They think it's a cowboy town. But these two, they understand that it's super cool.
The tour starts in downtown Dallas, the most fashionable area for the city's youth.
It's not bad. It's all a neighborhood. It belongs to a Swiss guy. He owns all the beautiful buildings, and he's creating the new Dallas. I explained how it works to them. the nice places. Because for the people, Dallas is a little bit countryside, so I show them the bling-bling.
Bling bling for Tony, first and foremost, means reserving the VIP area.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, perfect, that's great. Thank you very much.
We're on the rooftop of Happiest Hour. It's a place where everyone gathers on the weekend. A very good place to make connections.
For Tony, going out at night in Dallas is also work.
You have to know the right places. You have to show up. You have to know that it's Tony, the Dallas hairdresser. You have to show your face. It's a business card. To Dallas. Did you ever imagine that one day you would come to see Tony in Dallas? We're so happy for him. He's done very well, and we hope it continues.
It's 11 p.m. and the evening is far from over.
Let's meet at concrete. Let's meet at concrete. Can we all fit inside? Okay.
In Dallas, when you start the evening with 3 people, you often end it with many more.
Kara.
Yeah.
I'm hairdresser.
Are you?
I'm your new hairdresser.
Will you do my hair?
Oh yeah. So you're coming tomorrow to get your haircut?
Yes.
Then
Seriously, I will cut it.
Let's do that.
A new client. Tony's charm and ambition seem to have no limits.
I go out a lot and I feel at home here.
For Tony, this is just the beginning of his American adventure. His next step is to open a chain of salons in his name. Two days later, in South Downtown, Paul has an important appointment.
Hello, Joshua.
Soon to be rehoused, Paul has decided to move up a gear. Josh, his social worker, is going to help him find a job.
Did you get a chance to type up the resume?
I have my resume. I got the rough draft. And if we can set up, if you have the resources to set up.
Okay, let's see what you got.
Homeless for 5 years, Paul has 30 years of work experience to his name. He was in charge of the maintenance of a golf course.
Education, work experience, that's where I'm running into. Those 3 are my work experience numbers. And I had a little course design, duties. This is what I did. I helped just like, let's get it all laid out. Yes, if I had a job, I try to make it to the job, get established, get a routine going. But if I have a job, that would make it so much better, so much easier.
Well, then I will see you on Monday.
All right, thank you, Joshua. Appreciate it, yes.
With Joshua's help, Paul is on his way to finding a job.
It's going to take some work, and I got to do it. It's up to me. I got to make the change. That's the only thing I got to say. I mean, I'll leave it at that. I got to make the change. So.
It will be a challenge for Paul. He must first deal with his alcoholism, but at the end of the day, he lives in Dallas, the city of the Texan dream, the city of many extremes, but also of many possibilities.